Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us again today for another episode of Virtual Sankofa After School Program. So, as you guys know, we have been talking about college. How to choose the right college is a big thing when it comes to college. We've been talking about scholarships and grants, college applications, things like that. Today, I'm going to go into what you should look at or what you should think about when you're choosing your college, when you're choosing your major. When you're choosing your college, you want to look at tuition. That's one thing. You're going to look at how much it's going to cost you to go to school there. You want to look at what's important to you. So if the ranking of the school is important, you want to do some research on the ranking, how the school is being ranked in the nation. You want to look at if there's a specific type of school you want to go to, if you want to go to an Ivy League school, if you want to go to a 2-year college, if you want to go to a 4-year university, if you want to go to a community college, you're going to look at those things. If you want to go to, they have HBCUs, which HBCU stands for Historically Black College or University. If you want to go to one of those, then you can look into that. There's a bunch of different factors that play into how to choose your school. One thing I don't want anybody to do is to choose a school because it's where your friends are going, or it's where your girlfriend or your boyfriend is going, or it's where your parents want you to go, unless they have really great reasons for wanting you to go there. This is the first step in you being an adult. So you choosing your own college for reasons that are important to you is a big step in becoming a grown-up. So I do want you guys to think about that. Also, any types of programs that they have, different types of sports. Maybe if you want to play football, look into those colleges. You also want to look at, if you do play sports, sometimes they will scout you. So when you start to get offers from colleges for scholarships, look at what they're offering. You want to look at, if you want to be close to home, you can still get the college experience and live on campus and still be close enough to home to where you can get home if you need to very quickly. If you want to see the world and you want to go to an international college, you want to look at the different areas and where you want to go. And if you have resources there, if you have a support system that's going to be able to kind of help you out there. There's a bunch of different things to think about when you're choosing a college, just like there's a bunch of different things to think about when you're choosing a major. So this is from personal experience. I want you guys to think about what it is that would really make you happy. What would make you happy, and if that's something that you can do for the rest of your life and make money doing it, that's something that you want to look at when you think about choosing your major. So me, myself, I had about 5 different majors in college because I thought I wanted to do a bunch of stuff that I realized I didn't really want to do. First, I wanted to be a pre-med student. Then I wanted to be an architect. Then I wanted to be a African American studies historian. Then I wanted to be an educator. So that was the last major. So when I first started college, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I just knew that I was supposed to be in college. So don't let feeling like you're supposed to be there force you into choosing majors that you're not really sure about, or you don't know if you really want to do that in life. I'm going to share a video with you guys, and this gentleman is going to talk to you about how to choose a major in college. This is something that, again, I wish I had this information before I started school, because I wouldn't have wasted so much time on so many different majors. I would have been able to figure out a little bit quicker what I wanted to do when I went to school. So I'm going to share my screen, and we'll watch this short video. Give me one moment. All right.
Not sure what major to choose? Well, today I share with you my top 5 tips on how to figure out what major you should eliminate or contemplate. Hey guys, it's Brian, and I just want to say a big thank you to all of you who have been sending me your questions, your feedback, and just your general inquiries. I love hearing from you. I want to get better, and that means listening to you guys. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any future videos. And if you find this information useful for you today, please hit that like and share button. Okay, let's get to the question on how to choose your major. Now, it didn't take long for this question to come in. It's a very difficult question to answer at first, and it's something that many have struggled with, as well as myself back in the day. And I think what really makes it so difficult is that it's a very loaded question, or it feels like one, and it makes it seem as if whatever we choose to be our major today will define us for the rest of our life. Well, let me tell you right now, don't freak out. Things change, including your career plans and your life circumstances, and there are just so many other variables at play that determine your success. So while picking a major is a significant part of your life, it's not as important as you might think. That said, however, I get it. You need to choose a major, and that means choosing one that gives you the best shot at a thriving and successful career. So with that said, here are my top 5 tips on how to choose a major. Number 1, what's your end game? What do you want to do after you graduate? So if you've already figured out what you want to do, maybe you want to become a lawyer or a dentist, or maybe you start your own business. Figure out what the education requirements are and choose your major accordingly. Now, of course, if you haven't figured out what you want to do just yet, don't worry. The last thing I want you to do is to freak out over what you need to do now for the rest of your life. And that's because it's going to figure itself out over time. But hey, over the next several months, or maybe the time in college, keep your eyes open for any opportunities or industries that you'd like to get into. Number 2, if there's a major that you're absolutely passionate about, then choose that one. And when I say passionate, I mean it's something that you look forward to learning about no matter how difficult it gets. And that means you live and breathe this stuff. You immerse yourself in the subject. It keeps you up at night and gets you up in the morning. You think critically about it, and not in a bad way, but in a productive way, and you like to talk about it. And if you find that much passion and love for a major, that's the one you want to go for. 3, choose a major that you're good at, but that others typically shy away from because it's just too difficult. Now, this is the type of major that others just find too hard. Either the material is very complicated, technical, or dry. Maybe the faculty is really hard to get into, and perhaps the professors are a little bit crazy. But if you get good grades in the subject, you have a knack for it, and you can tolerate the unappealing factors associated with this particular major, then there might be a very good opportunity here for you. You see, because the majority of people don't want to take this particular major, you're on the fast track to becoming an expert, a commodity. You're going to be known as that go-to person that specializes in that particular major. Here's an example. Think of Bill Gates before he was Bill Gates. This guy immersed himself in coding and programming, a topic that's very boring, technical, and something that no one really understood. But over time, he became the expert. He was the go-to person to write programs, and he took that experience and created his empire of Microsoft. Essentially, he got into the computer business at the very beginning when no one else really cared about it. So for you, choosing a major that no one else wants to do because it's too difficult is like buying stocks that's at the ground floor. It's really the best time for you to buy. But let's say this option isn't really for you either. Tip number 4, eliminate majors that will provide very little career value to you. Now, I know this seems to be on the obvious side, but you'd be amazed at how many students still sign up for these majors. So without meaning to offend, I'm sure there are several majors that come to your mind that will provide very little career value to you. You've got philosophy, earth science, contemporary arts, theater, sustainable community development, and now, of course, I don't mean to pick on these ones, and in the right hands, someone can really make a name for themselves pursuing these majors. But my point here is that for you, there are going to be several majors that you know will provide very little career value. Now, I'm also seeing this new trend or brand of majors, and it's where they combine 2 different areas of studies into one. For example, I remember seeing one major that combined business with biochemistry, or another that combined humanities with life sciences and health sciences. And again, I don't mean to pick on these ones or overgeneralize, but what you need to ask yourself is, does it dilute your education? It's kind of like having a yellow belt in 3 different martial arts versus having a third-degree black belt and one martial art. So that brings us to tip number 5, stick to the tried and true majors. These are majors like business, engineering, mathematics, physics, economics, and on the surface, I know these majors might seem very conventional and probably categorized as one of the majors that won't get you a job. You have to realize companies hire you on 3 things: experience, personality, and expertise. And considering that experience and personality is on you, expertise is going to be dependent on your major. So when companies hire you, they want to have a quick sense as to what you bring to the table, what you know, and what you've got. And if your expertise is all business or all biochemistry, they have an easy understanding of what you've got. But if your education is diluted in the sense that it's a little bit of biochemistry with a little bit of science, an employer is not sure if you know enough of one or the other. And generally speaking, it might be seen more as a weakness, especially if the major is very new. Now, to switch gears a little bit, I'm sure some of you are probably asking, what if I want to change my career later down the road that's completely unrelated to the major I choose today? And you have to realize that there's really nothing stopping you from that. If you have a degree in chemistry and you want to get into the fashion industry, go for it. Perhaps you majored in philosophy and now you want to start your own business. By all means, do it. Your learning shouldn't stop after college. You can still read books on sales and marketing and starting a business, or take courses in whatever industry you want to get into. Like I said before, your circumstances, career plans will change. Choosing a major today will not determine the success for the rest of your life. With all of this said, it's good to keep in mind that it's easier to switch from chemistry to business or from chemical engineering to sales instead of going the other way around. So if you're torn between 2 majors that are completely different areas of studies, go with the one that's more technically difficult to learn. Okay, to sum up, here's how you should choose your major. Number 1, ask yourself, what's your end game? What do you want to do after you graduate? Do you want to become a forensic scientist? Maybe you want to become a journalist. Find out what the education requirements are and then go from there. 2, go for the major that you are absolutely passionate about. Number 3, if there isn't a major that you're passionate about, then go after the major that you're good at but that others find technically too difficult to learn. Number 4, eliminate majors that dilute your education and that provide very little career value to you. And number 5, stick to your conventional majors. Don't forget, your major doesn't define your life. Ultimately, it comes down to you to make whatever you choose today to be the right decision for tomorrow. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit that like button, and if you really liked it, please hit.
All right, guys. So those are some tips for you when you are choosing what college to go to and what your major is going to be. So depending upon what major you choose, you're going to want to look at the colleges as well, because there are certain colleges that specialize in certain majors. Like Mr. Williams was saying in one of the other videos, you don't have to go to school for 4 years for every career. Especially, there's a lot of careers that you can make a nice amount of money and you don't have to go to school for 4 years. If school isn't your thing, I'm not trying to dissuade you from going to school, because it's very important to get your education. Even if you self-educate, you need to always make sure that you're educating yourself in some way. But some people don't really want to go to school. Some people feel as though they don't have the time to go to school, or maybe they want to start making money sooner than going to a 4-year university. There are 2-year universities. There's technical colleges that you can go to and you can get jobs or start a career that can make you a nice amount of money. You need to figure out what you're passionate about. What is it that you love to do? So if you wake up in the morning and you can do something all day long and it doesn't feel like work to you, if you're not like, oh God, I gotta go to work again, and it's something that you actually enjoy, it puts a smile on your face, it kind of lights a fire within you, and you can get paid for doing it, go to school for that. Educate yourself in that, because there's a market for everything out here. There's so many different jobs. Everybody has to do something. So there's a job for some people like to read in their leisure time. If you love to write, you can get paid to write. Yes, you can get paid to write down your feelings and your thoughts, your opinions. People pay for that. People pay to hear people speak. There's motivational speakers out here. There are life coaches. You only need a certification for that. You don't even have to go to school for years for that. You go to school for a few months. That's it. If you like talking to people, if you feel like you can sell oxygen to a fish, go into real estate. It takes a few months for real estate, very inexpensive. and you can sell houses. You can make a lot of money. There's so many different things out here to do. Don't always think conventional. Don't have anybody else tell you what your major should be, what you should be going to college for, which college you should go to, because at the end of the day, it's your life. You have to live it. We want you to be happy. We want you to be successful. So again, to our registered families, if you're not registered with Sankofa, I don't know what you're waiting for, but come on. We're welcoming you, and we have a bunch of resources here to help you out with your college decisions, with your educational enrichment, with a whole bunch of other things. So hope to see you soon.